Hey everyone, it's Jeff Fisher of High School Football America in the NFL Play Football studio. And we're going to talk a little flag today with the man on the other side of the box, Izell Reese, the CEO of RCX Sports, better known as the organization that runs NFL Flag. We're going to talk some flag football with Izell today. Thanks for taking the time with us to talk a little bit about this. I think booming might even be an understatement at this point, but the booming sport.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, Jeff. It's thanks for having me on, and I agree with you on that. This sport is exploding, so it's booming and exploding. So we'll add both buzzwords to it.
There's some noise there with it. Let's put it that way. Well, for those of you who don't know about Mr. Reese, he former NFL player, pretty good when you play in the NFL, and now he's the guy leading the flag charge, as he said, exploding, booming, whatever the word is. But I guess the big question is, okay, you know tackle pretty well. You played at the highest level. What got you and RCX involved in the game of flag?
Yeah. As far as me personally getting involved with the game, as you said, being a former player, I've always had a passion for youth sports and kids getting the opportunity to play the game of football, having to, as you mentioned, play it at its highest level at all levels. And so, as part of that, that also spurred me into starting RCX Sports as the founder of getting involved and wanting to just do more. I did this during my playing days in college, high school, of just working with youth through sport, transformational power sport, as I like to call it, and the values that come with that. And lo and behold, about 6 years ago, I mean, we've been doing football camps and just more basketball, just all kind of youth sports. And, we got an opportunity 6 years ago to oversee NFL flag football for the NFL, and they had some big goals and a big vision of what they wanted to accomplish. And I've been fortunate to quarterback that, if you will, on behalf of the NFL with NFL flag, and it's been a fun and fulfilling ride just to see what a sport has come in such a short period of time.
Yeah, no doubt about that. I don't think you needed to call any audibles at this point if you have. They've all been good ones. RCX, as you said, when you started it wasn't flag football. There's a lot of other things there. So why don't you give us kind of a little snapshot of the company and how it fits into flag and how all that works?
Yeah, so RCX Sports, we're laser focused on youth sports, and we serve as the operating partner for several pro leagues, and now governing bodies have been added to that mix. And what that means is we're completely overseeing, in this case, NFL flag on behalf of the NFL. So think of us as governance, and we're running flag football leagues or overseeing flag football leagues, as well as tournaments and events and camps and clinics and primarily anything that the NFL wants to see. But that model and us being multi-sport. So we're working across six pro leagues now: NBA, WNBA, Major League Soccer, NHL. They just came off a great win. Go USA.
Yes.
NHL street hockey. And the whole premise and foundation of it is growing participation, creating a great experience for kids, but keeping it affordable, accessible. So the great thing about our programs and a lot of our partners and organizations that we're working alongside as part of flag football and NHL street hockey, if you will, is Parks and Recs, Boys and Girls Clubs, YMCAs, churches, independent groups, you name it. But we're keeping these programs affordable. We're putting them in all communities. It works, but it's really cool that these kids get an NFL experience through flag, and they get to wear the NFL jerseys and brands and just be a part of something great, and then also be a part of tournaments and championships, you name it. So it's been a fun ride for me. And it's been great just to see how flag is exploded. Other sports we're working with have exploded, and they follow suit of what we've been able to do with NFL flag over the last few years.
Yeah, well, congrats on all sports. I mean, and you're right. Go USA, USA on that gold medal and all that. You mentioned a little bit earlier in your first answer about, goes back to your playing days and all that, and doing like youth camps and all that. And I know that you are a company, and there's different stuff, and there's money making when you're a company and all that. But it seems like
Right.
you've got a big give back in you as a person. And I just wanted to, ask you, where does that come from? Obviously playing days, but why give back like you are? Because you're doing it in a big way.
Yeah, for me, it's just, take it the way I was raised, and when it comes to sport, I just have a heart and just believe that every kid deserves these opportunities, and it's just been a lifelong mission for me. And I take my journey and coming from humble beginnings and walking on in college and getting drafted by the Cowboys. It's for me, it's full circle. Really feels meant to be. And I think every kid deserves these opportunities, and I like to think that's what attracted the pro leagues, and
Hmm.
knowing that what we stand for, what our mission is, and and keeping programs affordable, accessible, and creating inclusive opportunities for young girls to be able to play in sport and stay in sport, is what we stand for. And, the philanthropic side for us, even to your point, the business of RCX, we're a cause-based business.
Hmm.
So these programs, subsidies and low cost is what is meant. But then outside of that, you still have kids that can't afford affordable. So, we also have the RCX Sports Foundation where we're underwriting kids' registration fees, and working with other organizations just to continue to figure out what more can we do from where we sit, and also practicing what we preach, in an effort to do even more. And obviously that come from me as the CEO of this company, but something I just truly believe in, and something that I've always relished being a role model and working with kids and volunteering whatever time I can. So to now do this full time and just to create the model that we've created, and do the things that we've done within sport is great and needed. I mean,
Definitely.
we do as much as we can, but the more we can do it, the more we can foster partnerships and relationships to continue to do more to get more kids out there playing sport and staying in sport.
Yeah, well, thank you for doing that. One of the things that just came to my mind as you were talking, and I love when I get to a business person. Obviously, you've got this dual hat, right? Played in the NFL, and now you're a CEO, founder, and all that. But how does football help you? And I was going to say if at all, but I know the answer is not if at all. But how does the game of football help you now in the new game of business and all that? How much do you use from your playing days when you're running a company?
Everything. I don't know no facet of where I sit as CEO that I haven't been able to tap into, um, from the business side or running an organization. And just to give, I guess, a couple of examples, culture, is important. I don't think, if our culture internally isn't good, I don't think we can be successful as a company. I equate that to football and the locker room culture. In order for us to be successful on the field, that culture as a team, between those players, between those coaches, locker room culture is something that I came from. I know what success looks like when the culture is good in the locker room. So that equates over, in business and nonprofit, for profit doesn't matter. If you're running an organization and you got a significant amount of people involved, which I do, that comes into play. Leadership. Sitting here as CEO, I mean, sports taught me how to lead, from high school days being a team captain, and, communicating and what that means and what that stands for. It definitely was a transition that I could carry over, as well. And then also too, challenges and adversity. I mean, if you're running a company or business, there's going to be challenges, there's going to be hurdles, there's going to be fires to put out, right? And so, you learn that in sport. You go in at halftime and you're getting your teeth kicked in the game, and you got to come back and reboot and get back up. And so, knowing what that looks like and overcoming adversity, dealing with challenges, transitioning, those are all examples that are no different in business, that, I learned from sport. And the things I said, this wasn't just an NFL thing. I learned this as a youth,
Yeah. Okay.
leadership, adversity, teamwork, locker room culture. I mean, that has stemmed all the way through, my career in sport and all the way through my life, outside of sport as well, and being able to lean in on what I learned from the game of football.
Yeah, no doubt. Like I said, I knew the answer. It's just like, sometimes people are like, oh, your football days are no, what you learn on that field, man, it carries over well
That's
into
right.
the
That's
in,
exactly right.
into the game of life. Let's get back into why you're here, which is flag football, the booming sport. In football, as a player, you never won a flag, but now everybody wants flag
Yeah,
to the
yeah, it is.
millions.
It is taking off. It's definitely taking off. Yeah.
As we said earlier, boom, explode, whatever the word is, what is the most enjoyment you get as you sit back now? And I know your work's not done. There's still a lot more to go and a lot more flying to do, but what puts a smile on your face about where the sport was when you got involved to where it is now?
Yeah, it's a lot to smile about. As we said, the sport is exploding. One of the biggest things is just seeing women have this opportunity in football.
Mhm.
For me, it goes without saying, and to be a part of that and have an opportunity to play at all levels and enjoy the game and know what it means, and now to see that same sparkle that was in my eye in the eyes of young girls and women and seeing that and I think the biggest part of it is not only seeing them playing and getting excited about it, but now knowing that they have a path. Now knowing that they can play in high school, they can play an NFL flag at all ages, they can be an Olympian, they can play in college. With the recent news of NCAA unanimous decision
Mhm.
D1, D2, D3, NAIA already doing and getting very close to championship status. Junior colleges participating. A couple years ago, none of that exists, what I just said. And so just knowing that that has happened for women, and they now have this opportunity within the sport, is great. And just the sheer growth of it, globally, this happening, and just the volume of growth and this sport is, legitimized itself, if you will, and continues to do that. It's just exciting to just see how this game has been embraced nationwide and how now all kids can have this opportunity. Boys, girls, kids with special needs, flag is for everybody.
Yep.
So it's a lot to be excited about. And as you said, there's still more work to be done, but there's a heck of a lot of doors that are open now, and it's exciting to see it happen and to see this movement continue to move at warp speed.
Yeah, no doubt. The sky's the limit. Maybe I think most people for some reason had a little bit of flag knowledge because what's that guy's name? Drew Brees may have been doing that before a Hall of Fame career, but I think maybe where it first came to people's recognition may have been the NFL Flag Championships, right, in Canton. And we're going to talk a little bit about they're going to Indy, but what I wanted to do was have you spend a little bit of time here talking about RCX's role running NFL flag, the championships, but also the regional nature and how the teams fit in and how that nice little web comes into a national championship at the end of the flag season.
Yeah, yeah. So our role, and as I said, we're the overseer on behalf of the NFL and governance and league play. I'll start there, which is the base. And I always use this example because people know it, and I'm such a fan of what was created and it's withstood the test of time globally, and that's Little League Baseball.
Hmm.
Right. When you say that, people know that. So think of that, but now think NFL flag when we talk about league play. And that's another place where our skyrocket growth and foundation has been set, or as the largest youth sports flag football league in the world. We're well over 800,000 kids, with a goal of hitting 1 million participating in NFL flag this year,
Right.
which we're excited about and reaching that goal and very confident in doing so. So, and when you have that league play level, it allows you to continue to work alongside Parks and Recs and YMCA's. These are the organizations that are running NFL flag nationwide in other countries, Canada, as well. They are the ones running these youth sports leagues and these affordable program. And the kids, as I said earlier, NFL branded football, flag belt jerseys. They can get shorts, socks, and just as much as they want from the NFL. It's just such a great experience and an affordable experience for those kids to be able to participate. And the volume alone tells you the experience and what it's meant to these kids. They want to be a part of it. Organizations run around these leagues. And as part of that, what's next, right? And so a lot of kids want to participate in tournaments and so forth, just like any other sport. And so we've been able to amass that until 33 tournaments that we're currently running around the country now. And those tournaments are running alongside NFL teams. So you have the Atlanta Falcons as the host, the Dallas Cowboys as a host, just plussing up the experience. And that just adds to what does it mean to be a part of NFL flag. And
Absolutely.
NFL flag is the NFL is 32 teams, clubs, and its players, former and active. And I'm fortunate as a former player to sit where I sit, but there's a host of NFL players and former players that add to that experience. And the NFL teams and their ownerships has really leaned in. This is a team effort, and it's really built something great. And now we have a NFL flag championship, nationally televised, ESPN, ABC, and Disney, and a lot of people got to see that for the first time last year, and excitement and buzz of that that was created. And so, if people weren't educated and knowledgeable of it, that was definitely a new wave. They got to experience and see this and say, "Hey, I want to be a part of that. How can I play in that?" Right? Which has been great. And so now it's an annual event. The NFL thinks of it now as their added tentpole property, like Super Bowl, Pro Bowl games, draft, combine, and now NFL flag championships. And so the NFL really has put this on a global stage. And it's just been exciting to see just again how quickly this has happened over a very short period of time.
It's phenomenal. I mean, and just to even think about, how much flag was part of Super Bowl week, right? It was, it
Yes.
was, it was fun to watch. No, no doubt
Yes.
about that. Um, I mentioned earlier, you were in Canton and now you're moving to, as a matter of fact, we were out, just like you, Trish and I were out in Indy, and the Colts are very excited to be, kind of, if you will, the host city now there in Westfield, Indiana for this year's championships. Talk about the move, the, what it does for, the sport and the championships in general.
Yeah, the move is going to be great, and excited that NFL, chose a new city to go to because we have 300 plus teams there in July 23rd to 26th, and we're excited about going to Grand Park. It is a very massive facility, and so if you got 300 plus teams showing, you need a lot of fields to pull that off, and we got all age groups, boys, girls, co-ed divisions, all girls divisions, you name it, and so it has truly become a great experience, and the Colts are great to work with. So they're the hosts, if you will, and it'll be in their backyard. But all NFL teams show up, and that's another cool thing about it. Regardless of where this is, the lean in from the NFL teams is players, and again, this being on a global stage from a media perspective on multiple networks. It's just going to be an exciting event, as it was last year, but now with a bigger venue, bigger city, and then just a bigger event. This event continues to grow year over year, and this year won't be an exception. So we're looking forward to it this summer, and hope everybody tunes in and just see what the excitement is all about.
Yeah, well, we've already booked our tickets and got our hotel room, so we look forward to seeing you there and promoting what you guys are doing. It's absolutely phenomenal. You mentioned it earlier, the grassroots nature of that. If someone's watching this or reads about it on High School Football America and wants to get involved, I know there's many, many different ways. I don't know if we have enough time
Yeah.
to go through all that now, but how are some
Yeah.
of the ways that people can get involved, whether it's a league basis or get into coaching or whatever it may be?
Yeah. And I'll start with, first off, any way that you want to get involved, I'm about to mention, go to NFLflag.com, and that'll direct you in a few different directions. One that's really big is starting a league. So there are organizations out there, a Park and Rec, a Y, Boys and Girls Club, you name it, where it's a constant. That's why it's grown so much, but there's still a lot of opportunities to continue to start leagues, and so you can go there. If you're interested in coaching, please come. These kids, the sport is growing so much, from coaching to officiating. We're always training, development, adding more, and all leagues need more coaches and more great coaches and people that want to be a part of this. And we want to train them up, as part. And then I don't, and last but not least, the kids themselves, they want to find a league. So finding a league and finding, there are just 2,000 plus leagues around the country. So there's places, and then when people find a league, if it isn't there, then that's our target to go figure out how we can get a league going. in that organization when kids want to be a part of it. And then there's also just the support. I want to add that one as well because there continues to be more organizations and just people in general from an individual basis. They want to support, they want to support what we call our Females in Flag initiative and giving girls more opportunities. They want to support a kid that may not have the means, even though this is an affordable way of funding or giving young women sports bras to be able to participate. So, with the RCX Sports Foundation, it gives us an opportunity, to allow people to donate that want to support. And, there's countless organizations, Oakley, Toyota, they continue to lean in from a corporate, but anybody and everybody can support this game in a variety of ways, from volunteering your time to supporting financially. That continues to open doors for kids and for girls to continue to play. So, we've created platforms to be able to do all of that. But as I said, you can go to NFLflag.com and we'll lead you in the right direction for however somebody wants to get involved or get a young kid playing. I want to participate and find a league. They can go to NFLflag.com.
Yep. And if you're watching this on High School Football America's YouTube channel, go to highschoolfootballamerica.com or hsfaflag.com. We'll have all the links there, not only to NFL Flag, but RCX, and you can learn a whole lot more about everything. I'm going to wrap up, but before I wrap up, I think I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you the question, which is all this has now led to the Olympic Games, maybe a pro league down down the road there a little bit. Man, what do you think about all of this to be at the epicenter yourself?
It's great, and I know we spent a lot of time on NFL flag, but having a hand, if you will, on all these other levels. I mean, a lot of the spearheading at the high school growth for girls. We've been involved in that. We started flag as a collegiate sport and teaming up with all three collegiate associations. When the Pro Bowl shifted, or Pro Bowl games now, from tackle to flag, that was our group involved with it with NFL. Yeah, and I'll just say just the Olympics and just what that signifies, and getting to the Olympics and hopefully staying there is the global opportunity that's here and for both men and women. That's amazing. And then the NFL's recent announcement that we're going pro with flag. It's just huge. It's definitely going to happen. Just a matter of when now, especially with the NFL's involvement. And it's just great. And it just makes you think what's next. But this sport is going to continue to grow. It's going to continue to expand. And with the announcement of the NFL with pro, that will clearly state that every door has been open.
Yeah.
The sport exists at literally all levels. And so from that, you're just going to continue to see continued growth and for the sport and experiences continue to become the norm. And that's what I would say is quickly become the norm in a short period of time. And it's just exciting to see for the game of football.
Yeah, so when you heard about the Olympics, you get those were those old NFL muscles, not that you're old, but did you ever feel like getting them a little loose and see if you can make Team USA? We were talking about the gold for hockey.
Yeah, well, I like my hamstrings and I want to keep them intact. So, but I just knowing, I just remember, and I always say this when that Olympic opportunity, that door opened. I did reflect back on during my playing days, and I'm sitting here watching the Dream Team with basketball and Michael Jordan and all those players, and I'm just like, man, we'll never get that opportunity. Like, and here it is. So the fact that also the NFL has approved NFL players
Yeah.
to get involved, I couldn't be more excited for them. I can't wait for LA 28 and every Olympics that fall after that when the success happens with LA 28 and people get to see flag on a global stage and at the no better stage than the Olympics to display a sport. It's just going to be great to see, and the fact that we'll have some of our actual NFL players involved as well, not only on Team USA but even also representing other countries. It's just great to see just what this continues to do for the game, the overlap, the transition. You can play both tackle flag. I mean, it's just so exciting to see and what's just going to continue to transpire.
Yeah, and normally I don't do this, but we're all in the big family there. We're NFL play football, you're NFL flag. I think we covered a lot of things. Anything I missed, I'm going to give you an opportunity here. If I missed something with a question, Did I miss anything? You can
No,
have the
I think
floor.
I think you
Forum.
covered all bases. I think you covered all bases as it relates to flag. I was just saying that to your point, NFL play football, it started with tackle for me, and now to just, touch both sports is just great. And just to see what this is just doing for the game of football and knowing that we got two versions that are just continue to grow and just continue to be a great experience for this great game of football.
Yep, it's a game we all love. That's no doubt about that. Well, Izell, thank you. I know you're a busy guy. Thank you for taking the time out of your schedule today to introduce NFL flag and what RCX is doing with it to the High School Football America audience. Continued success. Look forward to seeing it at the national championships there in Indianapolis later on this year. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, Jeff, thanks for having me and appreciate the work that you do and the platform that you've created with High School Football America. It's great. And thank you for embracing not only tackle, but flag football as well. So appreciate the time.
Thank you.